today I thought that I would do a really quick video on the Gemini Foil Press machine. Sorry if it's a bit blurry, everyone must be on the Wi-Fi today. Now this is only fairly new for me. This is the second time I'm playing with it. So I just thought I would jump on, do a video and talk you through it. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Now, you need to follow the instructions when you first use this because it's not intuitive. You need to turn it on the side, and then there's a power button on the top here, which I'm going to try and show you here. You press that, and then you select your temperature. Now, there's a guide in the manual that tells you what temperature you should use for what material you're using. Most of them are low. Alright, so hit the low temperature button, and then it'll take, it says 2 to 3 minutes till it gets to the right temperature, and the light will go green. So this temperature light will go green. I think it takes longer than 3 minutes, but anyway, and it beeps. So it beeps when you turn it on, and it beeps when it comes to the right temperature. And if you hear my puppy barking, I'm sorry, but he doesn't like the beeps. And he barks every time it beeps. So I've got my door closed, but he probably will still hear it, and he probably will still bark. Alright, so you're waiting for this to heat up. And then when it heats up, you put your dies or your stamps. They call these stamps. Now some cut and some just stamp. So I've already done a few here of plain. And these are what they call the stamps. So it just basically foils the image onto cardstock and doesn't cut anything out. So they are the two things you need to know straight up. There's two types of, I'm going to call these dies. They call them foil stamps. I'm going to call them dies because to me they look like dies. There's dies that cut out and there's dies that just foil. Now with the machine, I got this set which has got Happy Birthday, the swirl and the little butterfly on it, which is what's on this piece of cardstock. And that's what I've played with so far. Now it also comes with, I'm pretty sure it came with this frame and this corner, and these cut out. So these are called your stamp and cut dies, I think they call them. I don't know whether all the ones that cut out are this different colour so you can tell them apart easily. I don't have enough of them to know. I only have this one, this set that cuts out. And I also, when I bought the machine, I bought another one, which I know is just a stamp, and it's this large dot background, okay? So, they're the two different types of dies. One that just stamps the foiling, does the foiling, and one that does the foiling and cuts out. And like I said, I have only played with this small set, and I haven't played with these, but I'm going to do them today so we can see what they're like. Now what you get with the machine besides these is you get the platform. So just hear that beep. That means that it's ready now. The temperature's ready. So what you do is, and I'm going to do the little butterfly because I want to make a card with them. So you put your die / stamp on the platform. You change the time to whatever it recommends in the book. And for a small die, it says 10 seconds. So I think that is 10. Then, so you put your time on. Don't press start yet because this is start button. You put your die on. You put your top plate. This is your top plate. You put this on top. And this platform gets very hot underneath because it's heating from the bottom. And it's heating through to that die. And it's heating that die up so that when you put the foil on, basically it melts. Alright, now put the top plate on. I'm going to press start. It's going to count down to 0. Then when it counts down to 0, you put your foil and your piece of cardstock on top and then run it through your Gemini Junior. So now that is done, that is heated up, it beeped, you pull it out of the platform, and what I like to do now is turn it off. You don't have to, you can keep using it. But I just like to turn it off each time. So now you carefully remove this, and this will be warm because it's been heating through. You put your foil on, pretty side down, and because it is warm, it sort of like sticks to the platform. Now, I probably am a little bit wary of the heat. I don't want to get burnt. So this may not turn out because it's got wrinkles, like it's sort of like lumpy and bumpy. Then you put your cardstock on top. You put your top plate back on. Alright, now this is a pain point for me. You've got to use these acrylic grips, okay, to hold the platform. Now don't touch it underneath, it is hot. You need to grip it, and this is a pain point for me because this top plate moves, and it can move your die and your cardstock. I don't know if the die moves, but I know the cardstock can move. So you've got to grip it with these, and I'm sure over time I'll find this a lot easier. So you don't touch underneath, it's very, very hot. So you grip it with this, and then you just run it straight through your Gemini Junior, and you'll hear that start to take it. And then I just keep holding it. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you on camera. I need these to grab at the other end. Alright, now it's done. Now, this moved going through because I had this in the way, so it's sort of like I was angling it down into the Junior, which is not ideal. So I think when you're doing this, you've got to give yourself plenty of room. Now I have limited desk space here because I'm trying to show you as much of this foiling section as I can, and I probably need to move the Gemini back a bit, but I've got cords and things going everywhere because I have things plugged in, my lamp plugged in, my phone's on charge, I've got the cable plugged in for that. So give yourself plenty of room. Ideally, if I could, I would have a separate little table that I'd have one of these machines on, so that I can not be cramped for space and give myself enough room so that I have less leeway of things going wrong. So also when you buy one of these foil presses, you get the silicone grips, okay, you get the mat to put things on that are hot so you don't have to ruin any work surface. You get these cool magnetic tweezers and the dies, like I said, and you get a foil, a roll of gold foil. It's not a full roll, I don't think, it's only a little bit. So, but it's enough to get going. So this plate will be hot. It's probably not hot, but I don't want to take a risk, so I'm just going to sit that there on my silicone mat. Then I'm going to take this off, and it should have, oops, wait a minute. Okay, come here. It should have foiled that butterfly, and what I've learnt is that you need to leave it cool down a little bit, like not be completely cold, but let it cool down a little bit before you take the foiling off, just to give the foiling a chance to adhere properly. And then I like these are really cool. This is magnetic, so to get your dies off here, because this is hot, so squeeze it together, try not to get burnt, pick the die up with the magnet. As soon as you let go of those tweezers, dong, it drops the die. I could play with that all day. I think they are so cool. These are going to live permanently on my desk, because when you're using a die for anything else, sometimes you can't pick it up, especially if you've got long nails. So these are so handy. I love this. Look at that. Yeah, my new toy. Anyway, so then I'm just going to pop that back in there, ready to use again. And this has cooled down a little bit now. We are going to take the foil off, and we have a beautiful butterfly. Look at that. Now, what I am getting, and this is probably because I'm not experienced and I'm letting things move around when I'm putting things in the Gemini, is I end up with this foil. Now, something's moved here, I think, and I can't work out what it is I'm doing, but if I do work it out, I'm sure I'll let you know. So that little bit of foil left on there, what I found, and I hope this is on camera, is I just get a razor. Now, this is the one growing up in school, they used to say use it when you've got using pen, when you're still learning to write and you've got your pen license before liquid paper was invented. Now I'm old. I just use this and rub off that excess foil. Now, I did see on a video that I watched that I actually linked on my Facebook page and my Instagram, that apparently there is a thing of dust you can get on your foils and on your paper. And now that video was in relation to the laminating foils, and I'll go through the different types of foils in a minute, which I was totally unaware of. But there you go, is my little butterfly. So I will, if I don't have a punch that size, I will fussy cut him out and use him on a card. So they're my 2 gold butterflies, my 2 swirls, and my happy birthday. And I will post a card up on my Facebook page and Instagram using those. But now what I wanted to do is use, alright, so I've just turned it on. You heard that beep, so I'm going to use some of these other dies. I've turned it on. I pressed the on button, even though it's red. Let me do that again, because you can't see it's off screen. Is it off screen? Here we go. So I'm turning it on the side. There's a power button on the side. It's going to beep. Even though that light is red, it's actually not on, warming up. So you have to press that button again, and now you choose your temperature. So that's low, medium, high. Automatically it's on low. I'm going to let it sit there. It's going to warm up 2 to 3 minutes, they say. I say longer. I'm not going to time it anyway, besides the point. And let that warm up. Now it does say a note on here, because you can use other dyes besides the proper foiling dyes. If you're using other dyes, the cutting side of the die needs to be facing up. Alright, so that's going to warm up. I can feel that now. So what I want to do now is use these dies. So these ones actually cut out. So I'm going to cut some foil for them, and I'm just going to pick a foil that I have. Now, I didn't know, but there's 2 types of foils. There's hot foils, which are for your foil press machines. There's a few brands around. And then there's other foils that are for laminating. Now, if you saw my posts on Facebook, you will see I have these Gemini Foil Mates in my store. I thought, yes, I'm going to play with them. I've got foils, it's fine. No, I didn't have the right foils. This is what happens when you use these hot foils with the laminating sheets. Now, laminating foils work in that they stick to the toner. These ones have, so laminating foils, don't have adhesive in them. They stick to the toner that's on the cardstock. So these are printed, that's toner on there, your normal toner printer. It's black and white, and the foil sticks to wherever it's got the toner on it. Now, these hot press foils have the glue already on them. So those ones, the laminating ones don't have the glue on them, they stick to the toner. These ones have the glue inbuilt, so it's going to stick to everything, and that's what happened when I ran it through here. Alright, so some people have said they like this. I don't like it, it's not what I was going for. I was going for the nice clean background with the red spots and stripes. So they're the 2 different foils. Now, Gemini foils, mink foils are all laminating foils. They will work with toner sheets. The ones that tend to be in these little boxes that are smaller, I think you can get them bigger, but these ones that are in boxes are more for your foil press machine. So this does say foil press. I don't know on the other ones that are for laminators if they actually say. I tried to look at one online and I couldn't see anywhere on the box or on the packet where it said that it's for laminators only. So I plan to get some of those in and have a play with them. So, but what I also have that I'm going to do a video on later and have a play with, so that'll be another video where I do the foils in the laminator. So if you don't want to jump in and buy an expensive machine, you can laminate with a, you can foil with a laminating machine. I'm just going to put these in. Now theoretically, that should cut them out, so I will be fine. Just going to put them on. So now they're in on, I'm going to put my timer on 10 seconds. Actually, I might do more because these are a bigger die. So let me go back to my, so this is where you need lots of room. Go back to my table here in the manual, and it says for a medium die, 15 seconds, and I'm just using the 350 GSM cardstock, or 300 GSM cardstock. So I'm going to do 15. Alright, then I'm going to put my top plate on. And I don't know what I've got on there, some dust or something on there. Alright, so put my top plate on and press the start button. That's going to count down. And then I'm going to try and find my scissors, cut some foil big enough. Now, I don't know whether those marks on my other foiling was because I had scraped the foil when I cut it or something. I don't know. I'm still learning. So you're learning with me. Right, so that's beaked. That is done. Pull it out. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to find a bit of cardstock. It's not big enough. Find another bit of cardstock. Oh, that'll do. Find my tweezers. Oh my goodness. Right, so now I just want to move this top plate off, out of the way for a minute. Put my foil on top. Now I think I also have a fan going, so this may impact the results I get. I know that's covered the dies now. Going to put my, hopefully this is covering the dies, put my piece of cardstock on, my top plate on. So it doesn't take long to work out exactly what you need to do. This is the bit I'm going to struggle with. So I'm going to try and hold this up. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm holding this up and then popping it down. I'm still pushing it. Yeah, well. Now I want to move this out of the way. So there's no heat by the feel of it underneath. So the machine itself won't impact your work surface, I don't think. So now I'm just going to run this through my Gemini Junior. And the first time I did it, the top plate moved something terrible and everything went skewy. So I think you need to hold it as it's going through as long as you can without getting these in the machine. Sorry. But yeah, hold it and guide it through. So as I was guiding it through, I sort of was holding one side, I moved this one down and then sort of crabbed down the platform until it totally went through. So I can see some cuts there, which is going to be quite cool, and hopefully that has foiled it all. Fingers crossed. Right, now one of those dies has come off and the other hasn't, so I'm just going to pick this one up. Look at that. Ding! And you know we're going to make that noise every time because that's really cool. This one, I'm not sure if that's big enough. This magnet might not be strong enough to lift this off. Now, I don't want to, hope it hasn't wrecked anything. Right, put that there. Now it's sticking. Okay, fingers crossed. We'll let it cool just a little bit longer. And then the other thing I want to try on this video is this large plate. I want to use this. So, like I was saying before, I will have a video using these foil mates soon with the right foil. And then I also have this hot foil gel I want to try. Now this is for hot laminators and foil transfers. So I'm not sure whether this works on this machine or whether it has to just be a laminator. So I will play with that. But what you do with this is you put it on. So this is perfect for like stencils. Put it through a stencil like you do a normal texture paste. Then let it dry. And when it dries, I think it goes clear. And then you put your foil on top of it once it's dry, because that now is your bonding surface. So remember, the foils for the laminators don't have adhesive on them. So they're going to stick to anything adhesive. So you could probably even use glue of some sort. I don't know whether that would work. The thoughts just come to me. You could probably use glue and let it dry, and then the foil will stick to that. But this is what this is. I don't know whether it's a glue, but it's a hot foil gel. So you put it on, let it dry, and then put the foil on top of it, your cardstock on top, and run it through the laminator. And the heat from the laminator glues the foil to this. So I'm going to try that with a stencil because I think that would be really, really pretty. So that'll be another video. Right, so this should be dried now, or cooled down now, and it's not quite what I was expecting. It is pretty. It hasn't cut out. It has, but really it should really have gone through twice, because it hasn't cut out. Now where's the cutting? Alright, so that didn't cut out around the edge in there. I may have needed, oh hang on, some of it did. Alright, I may have needed a shim on top. So that's handy to know. Oh, it is cutting out. It is coming out. Just needs a little bit of persuasion. But this here, it didn't get all that pattern. Can you see that pattern on that? Right, see all the pattern on there? It's got like intricate dots and swirls and things. That's all I got out of there. So I need to have a play with that and see what else we can come up with. But this frame, I'll be able to tease that out, hopefully. Alright, so I'm going to tease that out later and look for that to appear on a card. If I have to get a craft knife and cut along it, I will. But that could be, I should have run it through twice, or maybe put a shim on top. They do give you a metal shim that comes with the machine. And I think that's for your normal dies or your intricate dies. This one, I'm not sure whether I should have used that or not. I do like the frame though, and not all the detail has come out on that. So possibly I do need a shim on that. Let me see what it says about. I'm just going to turn these back on to get it warming up. Wish there was a way you could mute that beep or turn it down or something, because it's very loud. Okay, so hot foiling with thin metal dies. I don't know if that's a thin metal die. Let me see what it says about using their, no, it doesn't say anything. When you use their foil stamp dies, which is what this is, it doesn't say anything about using a shim. When you use a thin metal die, so your own metal dies, it doesn't say. Foil stamp and cut dies. That's what one of them is. Sorry, that's a foil stamp and cut die. You do have to use the metal shim. Okay. It says place the foil press metal shim on the foiling platform. Place your foil stamp and die cut on top, followed by the top plate, and then press start. Okay, so user error. I didn't read the instructions, but if you know me, you know that's nothing new. Let's try that again. I have now another piece of cardstock. We will try that again. Alright, so I hope you don't mind hanging out, but you can fast forward and see the bits that you're interested in, or just, you know, grab a cuppa, stick and watch. Now I'm damaging the foil. See what I'm doing? I just took some foil off that and I stuck my fingernail in it. So you do have to be a little bit careful. Alright, so I'm getting my foil, and the book says that the metal shim, I don't want that to blow away. I've got to have a fan on or not. It's easier without a fan, I guess. Alright, so with the foil stamp and cut dies, make sure the foil press is preheated and set the timer based on selected material. Use the material matrix, and the material matrix they're talking about is this square at the front here. And again, it just says a medium. Okay, place the foil pressed metal shim on the foiling platform. Place the foil stamp and die cut on the metal shim, followed by the top place, and press start. Tune folder size needed to cover the stamp cut and die. When the light has turned green and a beep has sounded, remove the top plate. Place foil with coloured side down on top of the foil stamp and cut die. Place selected material face down on top of the foil. Carefully place the junior metal shim on top of the material. Hang on a minute. But the shim's already on there. Place selected material face down on top of the foil. Carefully place the Gemini junior metal shim on top of the material, followed by the top plate. I think they've made a mistake there. On top of. Place the metal shim. Oh, okay. Hang on a minute. the metal shim for the Gemini. Oh, where is that? Oh my gosh. So you need 2 metal shims. I don't know where my metal shim is. This will be interesting. I should have wrote that. Hey, maybe it's in here. Hopefully it's in my drawer and I can find it before this thing heats up. Oh, I don't like my chances. Where is it? There's all my packets. Oh, where's the metal shim? Oh, no. Okay. Is it up here? What's flying around? Oh. Metal shim. Okay, so I have my junior metal shim and now my foil is blowing everywhere. Just keep you under control. So you need the foil pressed metal shim and you need the Gemini junior metal shim. So you need both of them. So I put the foil pressed metal shim on the platform. See, it takes longer than 3 minutes. I swear that's been like 5. But anyway, we'll wait. We'll wait. We'll be patient and wait. Okay, so then you put the colour side down on top of the foil stamp cut die. Place selected material face down. On top of the foil, carefully place the Gemini Junior metal shim on top of the material, followed by the top plate on top of the metal shim. Use the finger grips and grasp by only the handle to carefully remove the foiling platform from the foiling platform with top plate from the base. Careful not to touch the underside of the foiling platform and offer to the opening of the Gemini. Here, Gemini, I offer. Why is my... Here, Gemini. Sorry, I think my live just went off, so I don't know why. Because I film anyway, you probably don't want to know. The way I film it, I live to a closed group so I can actually see what's on the screen. And this is taking a lot longer than 3 minutes. So, and now it's interrupted. I don't know whether it's paused for you on your video, but it's definitely paused for me. I don't know what's going on. We'll see what happens in the final cut. Alright, waiting. This is where my patience is tested, because I swear this is taking longer than 3 minutes, but we will see. So the colours I got when I got the machine, like you get the gold, I got gold with it, but I also got green, red, another gold, what's this called? Disco ball, and silver, and the blue that I've been using, which is called turquoise, that I just used. So these have been sitting on my shelf for 4 years, and I can verify that they don't go off with age. Well, maybe if you keep them 10, 20 years they might. But I've had them for 4 years, sitting on my shelf in hot, humid Queensland, and they're still okay to use. So now we just need to wait for this to warm up. Okay, so I just went and got a timer, a stopwatch on my husband's phone, because this thing was taking forever to warm up. And I think it was longer than 3 minutes. That, or when you're sitting waiting and time goes really slow when you're waiting. So I don't know, it was like taking forever. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, maybe it was 3 minutes because it was seemed to be taking a long time, but I'm only half a minute now, so we'll see. So I've just turned it on the side. I've pressed the on button on top, and it's on low temperature, which is what it needs to be. Sorry, my dog's barking because I pressed the button and it beeped. Gosh, you might think I've been drinking. I've got the hiccups. Alright, so I'm going to let that sit and see. You're not near a magnet. Oi, okay, so that was 8 minutes. Holy dooly. Each time you use it, it must take longer. That's all I'm saying. Alright, so now, which maybe I shouldn't have turned it off. Alright, metal shim. This, and this, and this. So that's the metal shim. The die is facing up. Put the timer on for 15 seconds. Press start. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Yay! I can't believe that took 8 minutes. Wow. Must be a reason for it. Maybe it's starting to get too hot. I don't know. But I wouldn't have thought turning it off between uses would have made that issue. Maybe it does. Maybe I should just leave it on. Alright, so we take this off. We put our foil on, which I bricked, but anyway, we'll see how this goes. Alright, so we put our foil on. Then the cardstock. No foil, do not blow away. Maybe I need a bigger bit of cardstock. Let me put an actual, no, do not blow away. Alright, I need to take that out anyway. No, do not do that. Alright, hopefully this is wide enough. Oh, it's moving. Why is it moving? I would have thought it would have stayed still. Oh, I don't know whether that's on there or not. Alright, metal shim. Top plate. I think that was the go. Alright, silicone molds. It's moving. Right, there's one. Holy dooly. Maybe I shouldn't have done this live. Alright, move the machine out of the way as much as I can. Alright, here we go. Feeding it through. You can hear the Gemini. Up from the other end. I like the sound of that. Here we go. Right. That's a little bit warm. No, it's not too bad. The metal may be another story. I'm going to try and, how do I lift that off with the magnetic tweezers? Oh, no, it's not magnetic. Okay. I'm really gingerly doing stuff. Well, that looks better. That looks like it may have cut. Yay. Alright. That's promising. That came out straight away. Alright, so let's see. Do I have enough? Oh, I feel really awkward doing this, I tell you. There we go. It's grabbed it now. How am I going to peel this off? I'm just going to leave that there. Yeah, that gets a bit warm. Okay. Alright. Ready? I probably didn't let this cool down enough, but look at that. Well, the foil really not, I don't know. Wait, I meant to peel that off, aren't I? Yes, of course, silly me. Oh, look at that. Well, that's pretty. Oh, yeah, so much nicer. When you know what you're doing, you could save this if you wanted to and put that through. I don't know if that would work. I don't know, I need to think about that. How could I reuse that bit of foil? Alright, so then we pop out our corner. Peel off the foil. Oh my goodness, if I didn't have nails, it would be quite easier. There we go. That's a much better corner. Still not all the detail though, still not all the dots. Like, so on the die, it shows that row of dots there. So still not all the dots. I may need another shim. Trial and error, I think, with something new like this. That's not too bad. Alright, so, and then I have this piece of cardstock with a little bit of foiling, and I don't know why that stuck there, but anyway, let's just put that in the bin. One more thing I want to try, and that is the big background. So I don't need this for that. I can take this off. Pop that, oops, under there. So it's off the table, it's on the mat. Now, I'm going to pop this in, turn it off, turn it on, right, and I think that's going to take some time to warm up again, so we will see. This one, I'm going to do the holographic, so that's a frame I can use, I like that. Didn't get all the detail though, so yeah, shim might be needed. And of course every Gemini Junior, like every die cutting machine, is going to be different, so it's trial and error on your particular machine to get the right sandwich. But I want to just do this video, have a play with this while I'm filming, so anything I come across that I find I don't like or is could be improved, or tips and tricks and how to do things, is why I want to do the video, just share it with you. Because, you know, I'm not going to sugarcoat. If I don't like this in the end, this machine in the end, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and tell you, oh, it's a great machine. I'll go, well, at times it's a great machine, at times I don't like it. So if that's what this brings out at the end of this session, then that's the truth, that's what I'll share. So we will see with this next one what happens. I think that's probably enough. So while that's warming up, now this could take 8 minutes again, I don't know, so I just have to let it sit there and warm up. And if I, oh, there we go, that was quicker. I think there's something wrong with that last time. Maybe I didn't have it in properly. Okay, so now I put this big background one on. I'm excited to see what this does. Woohoo, I put that on. I finished with that shim. And I put this on. Then I put my timer. I'm going to do a large die. Now what did it say in this? This is what I'd call a large die. 30 seconds. Okay, so still on low temperature, about 30 seconds. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable around it. It's not going to burn me bad if I put my fingers on something hot. Alright, and then start. That's going to count down. So once you get to using it, I think it'll be easier. I'll learn what to do, what not to do. I think the thing I need to nut down and get under control is feeding it through the Gemini once it's hot. And that, again, like I said before, is probably just giving myself more room to do it. But for a first play, this is not too bad. I'm happy with it so far. And I think, like I said, with this, I need a shim. Alright, so that now has finished. So I'm going to take this off. Put my foil over it. And again, putting the foil on would be a whole lot easier if I didn't have my fan on. Oh, I'm going to try and block my fan with my back. And I don't know how hot that is, so I don't want to touch it too bad. And did I get a bit of paper for that? No, of course I didn't. Oh my lord. Here we go, this will do. And then this, I need to pull that out because I've done that, haven't I? Pull this out, put that on top, and this is the tricky part for me, is holding it. I move that every time. And you can't tape the things in place like with normal die cutting. Alright, feed it through, fingers crossed, let's see what happens. Right now, I wanted to try a normal die. Wait, I keep forgetting I need these to pick it up the other end. these I find awkward. I need to find something else. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm just special. Alright, so now, okay, so that's come off. Move these out of the way because I want to put that hot plate on there. So it's not too hot. I can touch that and it's not going to burn me. It's warm, but it's not going to burn me. Because this I wanted to get off. And it's not moving. Why are you not moving? Oh my goodness, come on. Oh, you're a big, heavy plate. There we go. Okay, so that's now out of the way. Let this cool a little bit. I can see the indent of the dots. Oh, it's going to be pretty. I did get a curl, like a, can you see that on the, I've got a band across there where my foil crunched up. That's probably user error because I am new to this, so let's pull this off. Oh, and luckily it was on a bit that wasn't on the cardstock. Oh, look at this. I don't know how to get the foil off that plate either. I'm sure there's a way. Maybe it'll just scrape off. Look at that. Oh, this is where I love it. Oh my goodness, yes. Now I'm still getting, I think I must be moving it. So I do have to work on a way to stop. When I put that top plate on to feed it through the Gemini, I think I'm moving things because I've got a little bit on the side here. But I can trim that down. But I love that. Look at the colours in that. That is beautiful. Yes, okay, I like it again now. Alright, so now I'm going to use my own dyes. So I'm just going to turn it off and then turn it back on so it starts heating up again. And then I think, I don't know how to get that off. A rubber. It's a rubber's one. You may just scrape off. Oh, I've lost my rubber. I'll put this one. Yeah, I'm not sure how to get that off. Don't think it's going to scrape off with... No, I don't know how to get that off. But I guess if foiling gets on the back or something, it doesn't matter. Does it rub off with an eraser? No. Oh, I think I read somewhere, saw someone use acetone nail polish remover. Right, so now I want to use another, just an everyday dye. Did I get one out? Oh, okay. I thought I got an everyday dye out. I didn't. Well, I've got a big sentiment here that I'm going to use for something else. So this is just a, now let's use the big one. So this is just an everyday sentiment, not a special foiling sentiment. This is just a everyday sentiment. Pop it on there. Now I'm going to do this one for 15 again because it's quite a big die. Alright, start. And let's do this in, let's just do this in gold. I've got a bit of paper here. And I think this one, I possibly needed the metal shim underneath. And I didn't do that. So it may not cut out. I may just have to put more shims on it. We'll see. I'll take this off. The foil is not big enough. Let's try that again. That's a really big die. Okay. Our foil, our cardstock, and I'm going to, now I know I probably should have used this on the bottom, but I'm going to use the, I'm going to use, should I say, where to go? There are two metal shims on top. I can pull that out now, heated it up. This on top, actually no, I'm going to stack it again with a card, a folded card in between, and hopefully this stack is not too thick. Right. my, see, that's where I think I fall down. There and there, and let's run this through and see what disaster we can make. You get your fingers pressed, because I do. Right, now I'm going to turn this off. I'm done playing with it now. Oops, I need them. Alright, so I'm going to cool down. Now it may end up that I do another video later once I've played with this a lot more, with some tips and tricks. What I learnt, what to do, what not to do. So like I said, this is the first time really I'm playing with it. Right, that's my cardstock that I put in as a shim. It didn't not like that, so I'm hoping that gave enough pressure to cut it out. Right, move that metal shim. And is this magnetic? Yeah, no. It does only work on the dies, these tweezers. Come this way. This metal shim. It cut it out. That's a start. Oh, look at that. I'm going to let that sit there just a little bit longer. I want to make sure that it is cool. I'll pop that back in there now because the machine is off. Oh, it cut it out. So this is a normal die. So this is a Concord and Ninth Say Hello dies. I'm excited to get this out. Really excited to get this out. Look at this. Oi, 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 yes. Yesy, yesy, yesy. Look at that. That is beautiful. Wow. Oh, I love that. Is that going to peel? No? Oh, it might. Oh. May need a little bit more heat with that longer or something, but I like that. Look at that. That is gorgeous. A foiled sentiment. That is amazing. I'm looking for a pokey tool. Ow! Stabbed myself. Alright, so there we go. There's my first use. You learnt along with me of my Gemini Foil Press. I'd say there's a steep learning curve with this thing. I would say that, definitely. I'm sure the more you play with it, the more you will pick up what to do with it, what to do, what not to do. But I'm pretty happy with some of this. I love this sentiment. I love this background. What else did we do? Where's our butterfly and stuff go? And I'm sure there's a way you can use the leftover foils. I know with the laminators you can. I just don't know with the hot foils. I will investigate that and find another way. I'll find a way to use those scraps. And then we've got our butterflies and the swirls and the happy birthday that comes with the machine. And this set comes with the machine. And I love this. That is gorgeous. Beautiful. And then our large hello. So thank you for watching, and if you've made it this far, congratulations. Hopefully you've learnt something. I know I definitely did, and I'm going to continue playing with this because it is lots of fun. And yeah, if you like this video, then hit the like, subscribe, and the notify bell so you know when my next video goes up. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day. Bye bye. Okay, so I'm just going to add this on the end because I saw this was peeling at the end, and I thought, well, I'm going to peel it off and see what happens. And it's meant to do the whole thing foiled, but it didn't for some reason, and I don't know why. I'll investigate why. But I decided to pull this off, and I have a happy accident. Look at that. That is way cool. And I could save that if I wanted to and use that on a layout or a card once I get it untangled. So I got my fan, so it's making a bit of a mess of things. But I get the outline if I wanted to be pedantic and glue that onto a layout. But I have this really cool heading. Look at that. That is really cool. That's a happy accident. And I don't know why, because I would have assumed it would have foiled the whole thing. But I don't care. I really like that. Cool. Excellent. So I just thought I'd put that on the end. And if you're interested, actually, I have a new product that I'd like to trial soon, which are laser printed headings for scrapbooking that you can foil with a laminator. So if you're interested in learning more about them or possibly purchasing them, just comment below and let me know. I want to gauge interest before I go ahead with that new product. So anyway, thanks for that. Catch you later. Bye bye.